We are back once again. It is your best friend Justin from J Master Productions. It's been a long time since I made a video. It's been over a month now. My last video was the day that Charlie Kirk died. That was the last video I made, a little reaction video to that. Um, in this video here, I kind of want to talk about the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk stuff. I want to talk about where the current state of humanity is at, as per usual. Ever since the Charlie Kirk death, it's really become apparent that the right is absolutely no different from the left. I saw all this stuff on X and on other social media platforms about the people on the right trying to get people on the left fired from their job, and doing the whole, search and destroy mission when they see someone say something they disagree with, especially in regards to Charlie Kirk. Clearly what happened with Charlie Kirk, because my opinion has changed a little bit since I last made the video. Go check out my initial reaction to it if you want, my most previous video. It's very apparent that it's not really what we're being told. It was a setup, some sort of op of some sort. I'm not going to sit here and dissect the whole thing. There's plenty of other truthers or whatever that do that. I don't know if he's alive, if he's not. But clearly this was some sort of operation because it made headline news. Everyone and their mother knew about it. I saw people all over social media who I wouldn't even have guessed that know he existed. They were posting about him, just reposts and all that, because people these days, they don't take the time to make content. They can barely write a couple sentences even. They just got to repost stuff. Maybe they'll give their little 2 cents. But it's just repeated and regurgitated stuff that people in the media say, that the talking heads say. But it's really interesting how the right has proven that they're no different from the left. Very interesting how they're doing exactly what the left did when they were, when their figurehead was the CEO of the corporation of the USA, and how they're trying to get people fired from their job. The whole search and destroy thing, like I was saying. Videos of listen, if someone dies, no one should be celebrating it. I mean, realistically, right? If it shows what kind of person you are. If you're gonna choose sides and celebrate if someone that's not on your team has passed away, really shows a lot about who you are as a person. Overall, though, it's revealed that people just, it doesn't matter even if they know a little bit of truth, they know about some of it. It goes to show that people aren't going all the way. They still want to think somehow, some way, Donald Trump is the lesser of the two evils, or that Donald Trump himself is a savior of the world. So it's really, I mean, it's sad to see, but it doesn't surprise me, because even I myself, and I've spoken about this before, how when Biden was in power, that I used to look at the red team as the party of rationality, because people like Matt Walsh were appearing, even people like Charlie Kirk. People like Nick Fuentes, even Myron Gaines, Jake Shields, right? All these people they sounded very rational compared to your typical leftist, right? And here we are now, and then there's the stuff with the Israel-Palestine, how there was like a divide within the red team with that, how a lot of the red team, like Charlie Kirk, especially at first, was saying how Israel has every right to defend himself, they're pro-Israel. And now people are accusing Israel, right, of killing Charlie Kirk, because apparently he switched on them just not long before he was assassinated or whatever. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that shows pre-predictive programming, foreshadowing someone like Charlie Kirk to be assassinated. And again, there's plenty of YouTubers that'll dive into that. I'm not going to go into that here. But we really need to ask ourselves as people, is where are we going? Where are we headed, right? It's been over a month now since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. A lot of it has died down now. His wife had very suspicious things to say. She was acting very suspicious and acting, people pointing out like, well, what kind of grieving is this? Because she didn't seem to really care that much. There was a big lack of emotion. There's a lot of stuff with her being in a music video like 10 years ago, and it was foreshadowed. It was showing 9/10 in whatever music video she was in. That was, the day that Charlie Kirk died was September 10th. And also a comment she left. I completely forgot the name of the music video, but you guys can just do further research into it. There's a scene where she's like swinging on ropes in the music video that she's in, and it says 910, just conveniently, where she's swinging on a rope, and in the background multiple times it says 910. She leaves a comment saying, it was a great shooting this video with you, Tyler. Shooting this video with you, Tyler. Tyler's the alleged assassinator of Charlie Kirk. So we can clearly see, those of us who have eyes to see and ears to hear, we could see that whatever happened with this man, it was a setup, some sort of distraction, some sort of way to politically divide people even further, maybe a way to implement new technology that, the pre-predictive crime that I've spoken about before and many other truthers have spoken about, how it can predict a crime before it happens, so they tell us. I mean, what I'm trying to get at here is no one's doing anything, right? We could sit back on, everything's on social media. The whole war is on social media where no one is doing anything. There's no riots on the street. And if there is, it's for a political cause or for some sort of racial thing or some sort of political thing. Like I said, it all has to do with picking a side. And until people can realize that both sides are working together in secrecy to make you and me fight so that they can get what they want, and every administration that comes in, whether it's the red team or the blue team, is just an extension more off of what the previous one already did. And they just blame each other, which is why the people never come to terms, because they blame each other. And the problem right now is the people who are rational, the people who are a little more logical and can see all the madness that was happening when Biden was the president, is now they just think that Trump is here and he's going to fix all of our problems and we just got to sit back and relax and things are going to go back to normal. But clearly things aren't going back to normal. Try buying a home. Try buying groceries. Let me know how much it costs you. Let me know if the average 30-year-old today can afford anything right now. Because the average 30-year-old, right, because I'm almost 30, the average 30-year-old can't afford anything. They can't afford to buy a home. They can barely afford rent. They can't afford groceries. People are just scraping by. And it's been like this for 5 years now, right? Ever since really COVID came around, it's like we saw prices jump like we've never seen. We've seen unemployment like we've never seen, and it's even worse now than during the pandemic. There's really not much I can do or say. Like, I know I'm talking about the problems nonstop, and they're easy to see, but the issue is that people don't want to acknowledge these issues. People still want to think with their emotions. They feel attacked when you talk about certain subjects because it sounds political, and it sounds like you're attacking a certain political party. So people can't see past politics. It's very clear that here we are, almost a year into Trump's presidency, and people still can't see that he's not doing anything. People themselves aren't doing anything. They take all their madness and they take it to social media. Most people are anons on social media. And people somehow, some way, even if they know truth, they think that being an anon and tweeting all day or reposting stuff is going to do anything for the betterment of humanity. You see, the powers that be are going to have their way with us. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but we're slowly getting into technocracy, especially with AI now. How especially the younger generation, the one coming up behind me, is very attached to it. They're growing up with it. It's going to be normal for them, right? For people that are at least, let's just say 21 years old or up, we didn't really grow up with it. But it's becoming normalized. Even if you do a simple Google search, you have AI stuff coming up. And not that these things, the advancement in technology, not that it can't be used for good. The problem is that the people controlling it aren't using it for the betterment of humanity. They're using it to devolve, if that's a word even. They're using it for the opposite of evolve. They're trying to, I guess you could say, I guess the proper word would be dysgenics. They're using it to make us more stupid, is what I'm trying to say. They're using it so that we can become reliant on that, because AI is essentially going to be the same as the government. Who knows? We might have an AI being the president. We might not even have an actual figurehead as our president. It might just be AI, some sort of technological god that is our president and that makes the rules and that tells you what's right and tells you what's wrong, tells you what to think and how to think and who to like and who to hate. and tells you that, oh, this person's hateful, like myself, like J Master Production Tier, who's simply just telling you what's really going on. See, the last thing the powers that be want is truth out there. And what they've done is they're twisting truth. You see, these people are geniuses. They're evil geniuses. They've given you truth over the years with people like Alex Jones, some of it, Jake Shields, Myron Gaines, Nick Fuentes now, who I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But someone like Nick Fuentes, right? He's going to be the next up and coming guy. He's the guy that a lot of people view and are saying, oh, this guy Nick Fuentes has been right the whole time. This guy Nick Fuentes is always accurate. He's always on to something. Everything he says eventually comes true. I understand it, right? But just watch Nick Fuentes' content. I mean, hell, just listen to it. I mean, sure, he's saying some things that are true. He says some logical things. But in the end, this guy is promoting hate. That's what all these micro influencers do. Also, someone like Candace Owens, right, who's claiming that the guy Tyler never killed Charlie Kirk, which is probably true. But Candace Owens herself is bought and paid for. Candace Owens makes you hate certain groups. Candace Owens doesn't give you the full truth. Same with all the people I just mentioned. They don't give you the full scope of things. They're keeping you in either a left-right paradigm, or if you can finally see past that, they're just making you hateful towards certain groups. Whether it be, right, with Nick Fuentes towards black people, towards Indian people, towards women, towards gay people, towards trans people. I mean, you name it, these people are hateful towards it. And until we can stop being hateful and we can actually start loving each other and we can start telling the truth and we can start loving ourselves more so, and we could pull ourselves out of lies, don't expect anything to change. Things aren't going to get cheaper. You can invest all the money you want into stocks, into property, into gold and silver, even like I did. That's where all my investments are, is gold and silver, which has gone up tremendously, especially this year. None of this stuff is going to save us from what's coming. You can't sit back and do nothing. You have to understand these things, and then you have to talk about it with people. You have to spread the knowledge. This is not easy. I don't do this for money. I do this for purpose. This is my purpose. I know enough to talk about these things. I know enough to make sense out of it. I might not be completely right with everything I say, but what I do know is politics are fake. What I do know is your average intellect out here keeps falling for the scams. They listen to everything that's on the media because it doesn't matter what branch of media you listen to. All these people work together. All these people are telling you certain sides of a story to fit a certain narrative. They want you stuck in the left-right paradigm. They want you stuck in a paradigm of hate, thinking that it's specific groups that are causing all the world's problems, right? Because that's why the JQ stuff has gotten so big. The Jew hatred has gotten huge in 2025 to a point where I'm seeing it on Instagram now. Hell, I'm seeing Nick Fuentes appear on Instagram now ever since Charlie Kirk's death, right? Because Nick Fuentes, like I was saying before, is probably going to be the next up-and-coming micro-influencer. That's going to be big. He's appearing on shows with Alex Jones. He's on Jake Shields' podcast. He's in cahoots with, Myron Gaines, and him and Candace Owens were having beef not long ago, like during the summer. When things are making headline news, when certain people are getting pushed, the algorithms are controlled. That's what people got to understand. The algorithms are all controlled. If they know that you like to listen to political things, they're going to put stuff that suits your political beliefs, and it's going to make you be like, oh, wow, look, my team is the good team and the other team is the bad team, and vice versa. So what people need to do is get their heads out of their ass, like I always say, get their head out of the sand, learn some truth, read some books, do some research on what's really taking place, stop listening to mainstream narratives, stop listening to your algorithm on social media, stop listening to the figureheads they're putting in front of you, because these people are all keeping you in a certain mindset, which is thinking either a presidential candidate is going to come save the day, or that certain groups in this world are causing everything. In reality, right? Because a lot of the people that I've watched over the years were Christians, right? And they made me think that it was all Freemasons and Satanists, which is part of the problem, but that's not the whole scope. And like I was saying, people now think that it's the Jews and all that, the Zionists that are the world's problems. They're part of the problem. But all those people work together. You see, it doesn't matter. The dark occult, as I call them, which is a combination of Zionists, Jesuits, Freemasons, all those secret societies, the Zionists, if I didn't already say them, famous people like your politicians, your celebrities, and your celebrities and politicians are lower levels. Don't get it twisted. Your billionaires and all that stuff. People like Elon Musk, who's been in the spotlight a lot this year, having beefs with Trump, being a conservative at one point, getting the conservatives on board with the technology that they would never have agreed to or been okay with if the opposite political party was in power. I mean, it's really ridiculous. Like, people are overgrown children. People are children. Listen, I know you have goals. I know you want to accomplish things in life. I know maybe you like your job, maybe you don't. You want to make all this money. You have big goals. You have dreams. You want to buy a home. You want to start a family. You want to maybe accomplish things outside of your job that you want to do, like go to the gym or a certain sport or whatever your hobby is. I totally get it. I have all those wants too. I want to do those things as well. I like going to the gym, right? But a lot of the times I have to sacrifice the gym to do this because this takes me a long time. Not just filming a video, but editing it, posting it, getting clips, posting it all over social media. It takes up a lot of time. It takes my whole night up after work because I work a job just like your average intellect out here because I need money to survive, right? The powers that be have made it, and generations that have been here before me have allowed a central bank to print our money, have allowed these people to just raise prices that are completely unobtainable now for the average American. I mean, my generation is cooked when it comes to buying a home, trying to even just be financially independent. And they've made it that way. They make it so that you have to rely on mommy, daddy government, and that so that you have hopeism, so that you just hope and pray things will get better by the next presidential or state candidate or local candidate or whoever. We need to see the bigger picture here, and that's what I try to do here at J Master Productions. A lot of people, what I say goes right beyond their head, because what I really am doing is putting responsibility on people. I'm trying to make people be responsible for themselves so that they can go out and learn. You're never going to learn anything from listening to me. I mean, you'll learn stuff, but you're never going to really get it just by listening to me or people like me. You have to actually get curious and have some self-respect and care enough to look into these things, understand it, and then you start spreading the knowledge. If you want a better future, you have to be responsible. You have to put yourself out there and talk about these things. Who cares what these people think, right? If you live alone like me, these people that you care, their opinions, I mean, they don't pay your bills, right? They don't help you in life, really, if you think about it. Your friends, your family, they don't really do much for you if you think about it. They're there for comfort, they're emotional support, which I'm not saying isn't important, but all these people don't do anything. Just like with the Charlie Kirk thing, like I was saying earlier. Look at how in an uproar people were, especially on the red team, right? I mean, doesn't it suss you out, make you suspicious that the president seemed to be the first person to know that Charlie Kirk died? I remember that's pretty much how I found out he was officially dead, was Donald Trump tweeting it. And again, when things are making headline news, when everyone and their mother knows about it, when people are reposting and posting certain things all over social media, it's part of a psyop. They want you to know about it, and they're feeding you a certain narrative about it. My point is that no one's doing anything. Things are getting bad not because of whoever the president is. It's because of people, the average person's ignorance, and not looking into it, and being comfortable and just showing up to work, coming home, and maybe going to the gym if they do, maybe drinking beer if they do. Whatever people do, whatever people are doing, they're focusing on the wrong things, and they're completely unaware of what's really taking place around them. No one's doing anything. People are either fighting for the wrong causes, they're focusing on the wrong things, or they're just digging their head in the sand and saying, I don't care, I don't want to focus on anything at all, I just want to live my life and be left alone. I get it. I want to be left alone too and just live my life. But I can't, because I feel and I see all the madness going on. I see how just deceived people are, especially in my generation, not having a clue as to what's really going on. Listen, I come across people all the time who might understand certain things, but they're not going all the way. And it's not completely their fault either. The reason why people aren't going all the way is because they think that, oh well, this guy Nick Fuentes is the one telling the truth. He's the one telling the ultimate truth, or this person is, or that person is. No one's really doing anything. No one is getting together. No one is having civil discussions. No one is really curious about what's taking place because the truth is very uncomfortable. The truth means you have to relearn everything. The truth means you actually have to face yourself and look yourself in the mirror and say, damn, I was wrong. Damn, I have to change. And that's too painful for most people to do. So, listen, if you want to get tracked and traced with everything you do, if you want to be completely reliant on the government and never be financially free or independent, then okay, that's fine. But I think most people don't want that. Like, if people knew the real agendas of the powers that be, people wouldn't want it. Especially parents for their kids. Do you want your kids to be enslaved for the rest of their lives and never have freedom of thought or freedom of expression? I don't think people want that. But it's because of the ignorance of people that we're heading closer to these days, to that day. Excuse me. It's coming. You're not going to be able to say certain things. It doesn't matter if you're left or right. We're heading to a point right now where you're not going to be able to express yourself or have any freedom of thought because AI and AI robots maybe that are going to maybe take over, not take over, but replace police and military that we can't even fight back against because they're not even going to be real humans. They might lock you up or put you in jail. They're what the powers that be are doing right now is they're putting you in a place to where, one, you're going to be so brainwashed into thinking that whatever the government says is true, that you're not even going to know that it's not true because you're going to have complete trust. It's just like with my generation. We were taught to believe that the government is good. We were made out to believe that the government would never do anything bad. But clearly that's not the case. I don't know what more the government has to do to prove that they don't care about you or me. I don't know how many times the media has to lie and get caught lying for people to realize that everything they say is bullshit and that everything they say is to fit a certain narrative. Even if what the media is saying is true, they're going to twist it around to make it sound like, to give you their twist on it, not the actual reality. So I'm going to stop here. I went well over 20 minutes. Again, there's a lot to say. I can be here all day talking about the issues. The solution here is people need to do something. People need to get off their ass. People need to actually come together and realize what's right and wrong. And then people need to take action and stop doing what we've been doing on a daily basis. We need to all quit our jobs. We need to stop supporting the tax system. We need to stop believing that this thing called fiat currency is real money. We need to stop believing lies. That's what we need to do. And until people do that, as I usually say, don't expect anything to change.